Had this character, I guess, inside of me when I started to improvise him.
Well, yes, it felt very familiar to me.
You already know where this is going. You can feel it, can't you? That heavy kind of quiet that settles in right before somebody finally tells the truth. Andy Garcia sat down not long ago, and for the first time in decades, he broke something open. Not a new movie deal, not some red carpet soundbite. He broke the silence on the secret that built his entire career. And look, I need you to stay with me here because what he said didn't make the headlines. It got buried, just like they always bury the things that matter most. He started talking about being 5.5 years old, leaving Cuba, his family landing in Miami Beach, and a little boy alone on a bus at 11 years old, transferring from the L bus to the K bus just to sit in a dark theater all day. Double features, The Great Escape, The Magnificent Seven, James Bond back-to-back. He said he'd stay from noon until 10 at night, watch the same 2 movies 3 times each, 6 screenings in one day. And he wasn't dreaming of becoming an actor yet. He just had this connection, this pull he couldn't explain. But here's the thing though. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. He said something else, something most people just walked right past. He said he was digesting the tone, the way they spoke, the rhythm of their words. And that this thing just lived inside him all those years, like homework, like a voice that wasn't his but kept getting louder. You know what I'm talking about. You've felt that before too. That sense that something is feeding you information before you even understand what it's for. And then he said the words that stopped me cold. He said when he started to improvise this character, it felt very familiar. Actually, let me rephrase that. He didn't say it felt familiar like remembering an old song. He said it felt familiar like something he'd already been given, already been shaped by, already been prepared to carry. Now I need you to think about Hollywood for a second. Just really think about it. The same machine that blackballs actors for asking questions. The same machine that buries whistleblowers and protects the powerful. Why would that same machine hand a Cuban immigrant kid from Miami Beach a decades-long career unless he was willing to carry something for them? Unless he was willing to play a part off screen that mattered more than any role on screen. He mentioned the Maltese Falcon, John Huston, the way film noir wasn't even called film noir until years later. French critics coined the term in the late 1940s. But here's the breadcrumb. Here's what they don't want you to connect. He talked about watching that movie in Ireland. The projector getting laced wrong, the film ripping, cigar smoke cutting through the light beam, and then up comes the Maltese Falcon again and again. Like a ritual, like something repeating on purpose. You see it, don't you? You already know what I'm about to say. This wasn't just a boy who loved movies. This was a boy being programmed. The tone, the language, the moral gray areas where good men do bad things for reasons they can't explain. That became his foundation, his comfort zone, his entire understanding of storytelling, and the industry rewarded him for it, lavishly, consistently, for 50 years. And this is the part nobody talks about. He said there's no conscious attempt to make any comment about present-day society. That this film is just an homage, just something deeply personal. But here's what I need you to hear me say. When a man has spent his entire life inside a system that punishes truth tellers and celebrates silence, the most dangerous thing he can finally do is call it what it is, and homage to something that maybe should have never been idolized in the first place. He called himself a helpless romantic, a man with profound love and profound loss. And you know what? I believe him. I really do. That's the part that breaks my heart. Because the people who get used the most by this town are the ones with the most genuine hearts. They find your soft spot, your faith, your hope, and they build a whole career on top of it while you keep believing you're the one in control. And look, I need you to hear this next part quietly, just between us. He said the word faith more than once. Faith that extended to all of them. Faith that kept him tinkering after everyone said no. That's beautiful. That's also exactly how they keep you inside the cage. They let you believe your faith is the engine, when really, your faith is the leash. So here we are. Andy Garcia finally breathes a word about the secret that built his career. And the secret isn't some scandal. It's not an affair or a payoff. The secret is that he knows. He knows the tone was fed to him. The voice was placed inside him. And the industry that profited from his silence never once thanked him for carrying their darkness so gracefully. But I have to ask you, and I want you to really sit with this before you answer. If a man as gifted and as decent as Andy Garcia spent 50 years carrying something he didn't fully understand, what are the rest of us carrying right now without even knowing it? And more importantly, who put it there?